Welcome to Diamond Dave's Ninja School, home of the Judy Chop. Now, when you're just coming through the trailer park, I got a sign out in front of my trailer. What'll let you know you got cheer, all right? But right now, I'm down here at the Ninja Factory. You hear me? It's always pumping out ninjas left and right.
Welcome to the Rhythm Section, a Memphis music podcast produced by SRP Studios Podcasting, srpstudiosllc.com.
Catch new episodes every Tuesday morning on Apple and Spotify, and 6 p.m. Central on YouTube and Facebook, and 7:30 p.m. on radio-memphis.com.
And please follow us at therhythmsectionpod.com for all of our channel links. We're on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Spotify.
We ever were.
Apple. And also we have our entire catalog of episodes, which is nearing 100, by the way, Jeff.
Yes, it is.
We might talk a little more about that next week.
Yeah.
Okay? And all episodes. So, yeah, the rhythmsectionpod.com. I went off script. I mean, it automatically train wrecked.
I do remember sending you that Diamond Dave, and it was lengthy. You had to cut it back.
Yeah,
he's worth every second, thoa
Yeah.
God's hilarious.
He moves on to teach you the one-finger death punch. and he brings into frame
right
a pineapple. All right, and he knocks it on his head, showing that it's real. Right. So then he goes through his whole thing. He does his one finger death punch into it, and it just like instantly just pops the pineapple. It's clearly hollow.
Right.
He opens it up, and there's a beer inside of it. Takes the beer out, cracks it open, pounds the whole thing, and there you go.
Yeah, you can't go to the finger death punch until you've mastered the Judy Chop.
Welcome to the show, everyone. My name is Derrick. That other sexy voice you hear is
sexy.
And we're also have a special guest that we're going to introduce here in a few minutes. But first, today's feature interview is Johnny Lamb.
Yes.
Mr. Johnny Hellraiser.
Absolutely.
Drummer for Aquanet. And then next week we have CJ and Kyla Williams.
Fun stuff.
For representing their band, Saturday Sunset. So looking forward to them next week as well.
Right.
And like small tease, definitely tune in next week. Me and Jeff are going to have some exciting stuff to talk about.
Absolutely.
All right. So we had a fun time Friday night.
Yeah, we did.
Which was April 11th.
Good times.
It was your birthday.
It was.
It was Steve Owen's birthday.
It was.
And y'all, and myself included, celebrated y'all
right
at Neil's for a Generation X show.
Right.
And it was a good time.
It was a blast. Speaking of Mr. Johnny Hellraiser, he was there.
Yep.
And I don't know if you had left or if you were still there when we played Wood by Alice in Chains.
I left after the second set.
Okay. I can't remember when it was. But anyway, we played that song, and about halfway through it, I look over to my right, and Johnny Lamb is standing there intently watching me do my thing.
Did you pucker up?
That makes you, man, look, anytime one of your peers is watching you play, it makes you kind of, okay, now I really hope I don't screw up. Fortunately, he wasn't standing over there during Iris.
So let's discuss Iris, shall
I don't know
we?
if we should. I hope there's no video.
But first, on Johnny Lamb, and you'll feel it in this episode.
Yeah.
Nice guy.
Oh,
You had nothing to worry about. He was there having a good time.
Super dude.
He wasn't going to make fun of you.
No. At least not to my face.
That's right. He and I may have had a discussion on the side.
I believe that.
No, we did not. But okay, Iris, you agreed to talk about this, so I'll let you.
I mean, there's nothing to talk about. It was a train wreck.
You and I certainly had a great laugh about it before recording today.
The whole band takes responsibility. We don't point fingers at anybody.
All musicians watching and listening right now, you have lived through this.
Oh my God. And Iris, if you've ever tried to play it, it has some different little parts in it, specific things that if you don't do them just right, everyone can get off and go in their own direction, and that happened. And I was back there cringing like I'm sure the entire audience was. I know Kevin Cost was cringing because he turned around and looked at me like, rolled his eyes like, I don't know what to do.
Yeah. It's like everyone in the band flips a beat.
Right.
So it's all off time. And me and Jeff had a great laugh about it this morning because we talked about our past experiences. I've been in it. I've caused it. I've not caused it.
Right.
Tried to get back in it. Can't get back in it.
Yep.
all of the above, and it's a nightmare. And I bring it up. Well, I think you I brought it up this morning. Like, hey, there was a song, and you're like, Iris.
Yeah, I just said it.
It was Iris.
Like, didn't even have to think about it.
So from my perspective, sitting out in the audience, I could not tell where it started. Yeah. You explained it to me.
I don't know. It's just.
We won't say anyone, but
no.
As someone sitting in the audience and having been in that predicament before,
right?
I was just hurting for y'all so bad.
Oh, dude, it's painful.
Everyone's wearing it on their face, and everyone's like, "Who, how, where, when? What do we do?" And but it cycled back.
It cycled back. It took time. It took so much time to get back on the tracks that I nearly called the song.
Now, if you were playing the tracks,
you'd have had to.
That's another level of train wreck.
Correct.
There's nothing at that point.
Right. But if you can't laugh at yourself as a musician, if you take this,
I love that you're talking about it right now. It's funny.
Dude, there was a time when I wouldn't have.
Yeah.
But I have grown to learn that there's not a musician out there that's perfect. We all make mistakes. Laugh it off, learn from it, and move forward. I have been to national acts that had train wrecks. It just happens.
Of course, it happens to everybody.
So
for sure, it was a good time. It was a good laugh. I instantly went to social media and shit all over you.
No, I know better. You might have thought about it,
but it was a fun night. Like I said, you were celebrating along with Steve Owens.
It was great.
So y'all had a table with balloons. And Jeff and cheesecake bites and cookies and brownies and
my wife didn't go to Kroger to get this stuff. We went to there's a place here in Hernando that it's a bakery.
Was that City Hall Cheesecake that you got the cheesecake from?
We got that from them.
Nice.
And then there's a place in Collierville that we also went to get some of the other stuff.
Very good.
And it was fantastic.
You supported my good friend Kim Daly over at City Hall Cheesecake.
Good to know.
Yes.
She was very sweet to deal with.
Yeah, she's awesome.
She was awesome, and
she's a pillar in the Hernando community as
Gotcha.
well.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So I'm glad you went there.
Yeah, man.
What made you come all the way to Hernando for cheesecake?
Well, we came to Hernando Friday at lunchtime for my birthday lunch that my mom took us to. We went to Windy City.
Okay. Oh, there you go.
Can never go wrong with Windy City. And then on the way home, we stopped there.
Yeah, it's right down the street.
Yep.
Well, I'm working our way and painting the picture of the table to our new friend.
Yes. Thank you, Melissa Taylor. This was her idea.
Okay.
She and my wife conspired.
So let me introduce everyone to, and this is, again, why you need to be on YouTube.
Yeah.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, my new friend, Jeff's weird new half-brother.
Alter ego.
Lil Sweet. What's up, Lil Sweet? You are so special. You can't see the balloons in the camera, but what you're looking at here is a 3-foot tall cutout.
Cardboard cutout.
Of Jeff.
Yeah.
Looking all Joe cool.
I'm pretty sexy.
Smooth, cool Joe over here.
Dude, the people had a whole lot of fun with this thing Friday night. Michael Hall molested it at one point.
Yeah, there was dollar bills stuck to it.
Yeah. And Kendall Jack gave me a big old kiss on the cheek. That was kind of interesting.
I believe at one point, Lil Sweet was on the floor, and I walked up to it just saying, "Look at the height distance here. I mean, there's something coincidence here."
Yeah.
And then of course I probably made a rude gesture.
You did.
And then at one point, okay, Karen Dillard Brown,
yes,
goes up during a set break, unprompted, grabs a mic and sings "Happy Birthday" beautifully.
Yes,
beautifully.
She killed it.
To both Steve and Jeff.
Yeah.
And then at one point I pick up a Lil Sweet and wave him in the air as everyone's singing along.
Right.
And then I made your wife kiss Lil Sweet's face. It was a good time.
Yep.
So, Lil Sweet, did you have a good time last night?
Oh, yeah!
Nice.
Awesome stuff.
Nice.
I do want to say a thank you to everyone that came to that show and witnessed the Iris train wreck.
We were all talking about it.
We love just the people who support Memphis music. Thank you for coming out. We had a bunch of Memphis musicians in the house. Mm-hmm. That was cool. I'm not going to mention them because I'll forget somebody, but there were a lot. Mm-hmm. Rick Hale, I will say a special shout out to him. He walked up front hit the tip bucket with a substantial amount of money.
Nice.
Very appreciative of that.
Thank you, Rick Hale.
And appreciative of everyone that puts money in the tip bucket. You don't know what that means to musicians, because Neil's is a place where you are certainly capable of making good money to play a show.
Yep.
Because there's a cover and you get paid. If you bring the people, you'll get good pay. And we had a good crowd, which was wonderful. But the tip money is above and beyond, and it helps so much, and it's so much appreciated. And as musicians, we probably don't say that to you during the show. When we come off stage, we're trying to talk to as many people as we can. And God knows when I'm done playing, I'm so tired, I don't probably say much to anybody. And that's I'm not trying to be a jerk. I'm just give out.
Yeah.
So
you're speaking for everybody. Everyone probably feels the same way. I know everyone's grateful for the tips, and and I say thank you too. I've been the recipient of some insane tip buckets.
Oh man,
you know, I mean, our first Neil's show with the Tina Turner tribute experience. Yeah, I mean, I'd never seen anything like that. Yep. And people step up, and and they're not looking for attention. Nope. They're just very generous. After already paying $10 to come in. Yeah. Throwing more in the bucket. Yep. We are grateful. It helps us musicians more than you know.
And just like you always hear people who are running like a telethon or something, every amount matters, from $1 to whatever you give. But there are people that throw 20s and 50s and hundreds in the bucket, and thank you. Yeah. But even if you just got $1 or two, it means a ton.
Absolutely. So just the fact that you're there.
Yep.
And to cap it up, I want to thank you and the guys from Gen X for letting me sit in.
Dude, that was so much fun.
I got to jump up for a song, did Cracker Man song that I've always loved. And
great song.
I've been playing forever. Never, ever had a chance to play it in any band, regardless of being on a stage at a gig. Yeah. So that was fun.
You and I recorded that song once in a studio, in Mark Goodman's studio. We played that together.
And I played it on guitar.
You did play guitar, and you did quite well.
I got to dig that up.
I have those somewhere on my computer.
To those that know Mark Goodman, great guy.
Yeah,
we miss him dearly. But me and Jeff, a long time ago, went in the studio and hashed out a bunch of cover songs and never took it anywhere. But anyway, so happy birthday.
So much fun playing with you on stage, and I'm looking forward to more of that. By now it's out. Back to the Future, baby. We are going to be doing, Derrick and I will be doing this thing a lot more.
Yes. So, happy birthday, Steve Owens.
Back to the Future. Back in time.
Back in time, everyone.
I'm telling you.
Great Scott!
We weren't actually in Back to the Future.
All right. David Griffin has been in the studio. We did post a picture.
He's bald.
And his episode is coming up, and we had a great time with him. So we're going to start with David Griffin audio. As every week, bands, you need to pay attention. David Griffin Audio brings big sound, bright lights, flames, and sparks to every event, from private parties to festivals, fairs, clubs, and even poolside and patio gigs.
Experience the largest QSC system in the area with David Griffin Audio. No job is too big or small. Follow on Facebook at David Griffin Audio for updates.
Call him at 901-299-1344 or email davidgriffinaudio@gmail.com. Jeff, bring the energy, bring the show.
David Griffin Audio.
All right, one Steve Owens, again, happy birthday, and thanks for joining us last week.
Yep.
We're going to be pushing this new Originals Night at Roosters in May heavily over here the next few weeks. But first, looking for the best live music in Memphis, of course, with Steve Owens and the Musicians Booking Agency. Stretch the mouth out. Connect top bands with the hottest venues in town. Whether you are a band looking for gigs or a venue needing incredible talent, the Musicians Booking Agency has you covered.
Stay in the loop. Follow on Facebook at the Memphis Musicians Booking Agency for updates on upcoming shows and new artists. Memphis music starts here. Don't miss out.
Contact Steve at 901-870-6846. All right, Jeff, kick off these dates.
Shows for this week. We got Wednesday, April the 16th, Off the Tracks at Hadley's and Triple Annie at Roosters.
Friday, April 18th, we got The Boneyard at Hadley's.
Saturday, April 19th, my band Gen X is at Woodchucks in Senatobia. We got Big Wheel at 10th Inning, Sold Out at Lucky Dog, 901 Rocks at Hadley's, The Lost 45s at Southland Casino, and your mom's new boyfriend debuts at Neil's.
Debut show at Neil's. Good luck to y'all over there.
I think they have a t-shirt that says "My Other Ride is Your Mom." That's so cool.
That's perfect. Very fitting. And then Sunday, April 20th, Headband will be at Hadley's.
Yes.
All right, DeSoto Local is a digital advertising network throughout DeSoto County. They have moved the outdoor billboard concept indoors to high-traffic areas, connecting local businesses to their customers through their network of indoor digital billboards in over 30 locations.
Their indoor billboards are in popular places all over town, from restaurants to gyms and doctors' offices to auto repair. You will be seen wherever your customers go. These screens display full-motion ads about the business hosting the screen, ads for local businesses in the area, and relevant local content.
Advertise your business with DeSoto Local. Contact Brandy Faulkner today at 901-831-3212 and visit DeSotoLocal.biz for more information.
More Loud proudly pays tribute to the king of surf guitar, Dick Dale. Guitarist Jason Moore captures Dale's signature sound with aggressive, fast, and highly rhythmic playing, featuring rapid alternate picking, heavy reverb, and powerful staccato attack that defined Dick Dale's sound.
In addition to honoring Dick Dale, More Loud performs instrumental rock and roll versions of classics like Smoke in the Water, Louie Louie, and House of the Rising Sun, all infused with that unmistakable Dick Dale energy.
Yeah, Jason Moore's new original EP, Louder Than Life, is out now, along with new singles Finish Line and Paradiso.
Visit moreloud.com for music and updates. That's MOORELOUD.com.
My boys in Area 51, they are one of the premier bands in Memphis and North Mississippi, bringing you songs from classic artists such as Autograph, Van Halen, Starship, and Kansas. Keep it Dewey and check out one of their following shows.
All right, we have one date to announce. Friday, April 18th, they're going to be at Dan McGinnis with a 9 p.m. start.
Right, if you're the other band that's booked for that night, don't even go.
Wow. Damn.
Shut up, man.
No, they're notorious for that shit. Everybody knows it. I'm just saying it out loud.
All right. Johnny Hellraiser joined us, everyone. Johnny Lamb is his name. He is the drummer for Aquanet.
Aqua.
You don't remember my name?
Aquanet.
Indiana Jones and the Aquanet of the Covenant.
And among other projects like Chasing Angels.
Mm-hmm.
We talk about Chasing Angels, of course.
Yeah.
We go into depth on his time with Aquanet, which has been lengthy. He's had a great run with them. Of course, we talk about current members, past members, Chasing Angels, how at least in my lexicon, when we first started the show, Chasing Angels came out, some different players. Fast forward some time, all of a sudden they post pictures, and then Johnny Lamb is in it. So we talk about how that all came to be. They shared a show with you all. They split a bill with Generation X at Sidecar South Haven. Yep. They did some work with you down at Woodchucks as they're building the new lineup. So
just great players. They do not play simple music. It's pretty complex, and
I don't want to leave members out, but Max Patterson's the man fronting it.
Yep.
So and they're playing Queensryche stuff.
It takes somebody with some pipes.
Yeah. So good on you, Max, for sure. So they're still looking to play more this year.
Absolutely.
You know, might even be looking at doing some originals.
Yeah. So fun stuff. Johnny joined us for the Pete Mendillo Celebration of Life at Neil's last year. He picked.
It was a Rush song.
Yep. I do this every time. But anyway, a very difficult Rush song.
Well, you bring it up in his interview.
Yeah, I did, and I didn't know it then either.
You had to think about it.
Somebody had to tell me what it was.
You explain how, honestly, you did not have faith in Johnny.
Did I say that?
No, you didn't say it outright. But when he chose the song, you were like, I hope he can bring it.
It wouldn't have mattered.
I'm throwing you under the bus.
No, it's all good, because if anyone out there who's a drummer knows this particular song, it wouldn't have mattered who picked it.
Yeah.
I would have been like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I wish we could remember the name of this damn song.
Pete Mendillo has done that song with Josh Haynes. I think they did a back during COVID, a separate studios together type thing.
Okay,
where they did that song, and it's not easy.
Yeah, so we play around with Johnny on that.
Oh yeah,
you know, he had a great time, but we explain a little more what Pete Mendillo's celebration was about and who he is and everything, and it was a monumental night, and he brought it. For sure. Yep. It was a good time to share that story with him.
Yep. He's got original stuff with StoneRowe.
Yep.
That's another one of his projects.
Some of the members from Aquanet or Aquanet. are in that band, so we talk about that.
And we geeked out over airplanes because of his career in the Air Force. If you see Johnny, tell him thank you for his service.
26 years in the Air Force, just retired, as we learned.
He worked on the big C-5 Galaxy.
Yes.
Huge airplane.
Yeah, I'm throwing a picture up right now. Massive plane. So I'll let you, because I know you're into planes. Not as much as cars, though, right?
Yeah.
Really?
I just don't have the money to own planes. If I won the lottery, you'd know exactly how much I love airplanes.
Right, and you and I have gone to car shows here in the Hernando Square. I don't see too many C5 shows in the Hernando Square.
No, if I won the lottery, it's one of those things where I wouldn't have to say anything. People would know because I'd have a P-51 Mustang parked in my front yard.
And we also talk about the Mad Drummer.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. I'm throwing pictures of this guy. We go more into depth on who this guy is. You need to learn.
Look him up.
He went viral. He was that drummer that played in this like little corporate function band. And
flailing around.
They played in the Gold Blazers.
Yeah.
I can't remember the name of the band.
He's got bangs for days. Like his hair is all over the place.
So
he's hilarious.
go search the Mad Drummer.
Yeah.
If you haven't already seen these viral videos that have been in existence for years, and then go back to the interview because Johnny played with this guy. He knows this guy, and was friends with him. So we dig into all that as well. So, all right. First, we need to do some more business, Jeff, and that is Big Note Music Lessons. They offer one-on-one and group guitar, bass, keys, drums, and voice lessons. I hear guitar lessons, I hear keyboard lessons, I hear drum lessons, I hear vocal lessons every week in this place.
Nice.
What is missing? Bass lessons.
Nobody wants to play
Come on, y'all. Kids, it is still cool to play bass.
Yes, it is.
Try a free one, kids. No obligation. Enjoy a free tour of the school and a free lesson. Visit BigNoteMusicLessons.com. Complete the submission form and start your musical journey today. BigNoteMusicLessons.com.
Start your Radio Memphis day within the morning with Rick and Monica from 9:30 to 2 p.m. Central for a wild ride of fun segments like News from the Stupid, That Guy, This Guy, Crime Time, and more. Radio Memphis, where the planet tunes in to hear what Memphis sounds like. Radio-Memphis.com.
And to everyone that has donated to us, thank you so much. If you are interested in donating to this cause that we do here every week, you can by going to our tip bucket links in the description. We have Venmo and Cash App, or you can search the Rhythm Section Pod on either app.
Follow us at therhythmsectionpod.com. There you will see our entire catalog of episodes and links to our YouTube, Apple, Spotify, Facebook, and Instagram channels. Go see the band.
Yes, and one more time, Lil Sweet.
Thank you.
Thank you. Did you have a good time this weekend? Yes, he did.
He had a great time.
Yes, and as Jeff said, go see a band. Go have some fun this coming weekend. And please enjoy this interview with one Johnny Hellraiser.
Yeah, baby.
Johnny Lamb from Aquanet.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? I am so thrilled to introduce you to a good buddy of mine. He is an amazing local drummer, and he's done more than just local, but Johnny Hellraiser.
All right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now, it's Johnny Lamb, but we were just giving him his due as the drummer of Aquanet.
That's right. What's up, Johnny?
How's it going, guys?
Thanks for doing this.
Yeah, man. Thanks for asking. This is awesome.
Yeah, you've been on my radar, obviously, for a while,
man.
and I just hadn't gotten off my butt and asked you.
It's all good. We talk all the time.
Yeah, and then, Derrick and I are always, we come in here and we're like, hey, let's ask so-and-so and so-and-so and so-and-so, and then by the time we leave, it's...
And when someone finally gives us a third compliment, that's when you're invited.
I got you. Well, you're reaching down low in the barrel.
You told me the other day that Derrick's head looked properly moisturized.
There you go.
And so I thought,
it messes with the lighting.
Johnny's in.
My head is so bright. It's like mirrors.
There you go.
Johnny Lamb, Johnny Hellraiser, Aquanet. We're talking Chasing Angels. We're gonna talk about your song that you did with all of us at the Pete Mendillo Celebration of Life, StoneRowe, past bands, all kinds of fun stuff.
Okay.
Thanks for being here. What part of town do you come? You live in DeSoto County, right?
I do. I literally live 5 minutes up the road.
Nice.
Right up here at South Haven.
Thanks for taking the time to drive.
Yeah.
5 minutes.
Exactly.
I like that. Man, some people come from an hour away. You know, so we're always grateful for people.
Well,
that
you guys
come
had
here.
Chris Craig on here. Man, he came
from Nashville.
I was like, he's either in Dallas or Nashville.
Twice.
Yeah, wherever he's
Kinley Wolf came
exactly.
from Dallas.
Yeah.
So Chris was on twice.
Right.
Both times. First Lord Tracy. The second time Fraser Boulevard. And well, go back to the first one. Kinley called on the phone. That's it. So
Gotcha.
it was in studio and phone.
Yeah.
Man, the second time Kinley came all the way up from Texas.
Right.
Awesome. We had a great time. So we made sure we did them right as best we could for that interview.
Yep.
Cool, man. Well, let's talk some Aquanet because it's current and what you guys are playing and where people can find you. I don't know the exact date when this is publishing.
Okay.
But let's talk Aquanet. So how long have you been with them?
Jay called me in 2013.
Okay. Who's Jay? Which one is he?
He's the singer.
Okay.
Yeah. It was the end to the, no, it was like sometime the beginning of 2013. It's what I remember. And then,
2013. Wow.
yeah.
Been a minute.
Yeah.
No doubt.
And don't worry about dates. We screw them up all the time.
And I don't know the exact time. I just know at that point, sometime in that year, I was in the band and replaced Mark Sampson.
Okay.
He was leaving. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I know Mark a little now because of Sold Out.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And I'm not sure he was leaving the band for whatever reason, personal reason. I don't know, but I know he probably talked about it. And I just don't remember.
Sure.
But yeah. So I would go watch the shows and just kind of start picking up on how the whole flow of the thing goes. And
how soon did you start thinking about your look?
When they told me, I was going to be the guy, I started thinking about it because they're like that. Believe it or not, that's actually one of the harder things. Finding somebody to come play the gig is not a problem. Getting somebody that's willing to buy into the
show. Put on a wig or
but it's it was pretty quick. And the first thing I started thinking about, you see these old pictures of me, and I was like, okay, that's easy. I know what that feels like.
By now I've thrown up pictures of Aquanet, and as you can see, you're a themed band,
right?
A tribute to a genre band, right? So you dress accordingly.
Absolutely,
you match the look with the wigs and the
I've
80s
got the
look.
easiest part of it because I'm behind the kit, so I don't have to be up there, painted on pants.
Did they tell you that you had to get in the gym?
No,
because you have obviously been in the gym. I'm sorry, I have to
actually
admire.
I don't go to the gym. I just work out at home.
What?
Dude,
what
you're hulking up over here.
Sorry, man. Okay.
Damn. Sorry, man. Okay.
What size sticks do you play with? Like tree trunks?
Nope.
Well, look, it's out now.
Yeah.
Back in Time is a Huey Lewis and tribute that we're putting together.
Yeah, man.
And
I love Huey Lewis.
So I'm trying to do the bass player.
Yeah.
Because he is a character in that band.
Yeah, he was.
But I have to lose like 70 fucking pounds in order to really match.
You do have the height.
Hey,
I have the height.
Bass player live in Memphis here somewhere? Wasn't he like on the city council in Memphis or something?
I don't think so.
I thought one of them was.
Oh, no.
I know there's the original one, the guy left in 95.
Right.
Yeah.
But this isn't about that.
Smoking too much pot.
Sorry.
That was all to do a fat joke on myself.
Yeah.
There you go.
That's it.
Yeah.
All you had to say is, I'm fat.
So, Aquanet. So, do you come up with Johnny Hellraiser out of the gate?
Yeah, everybody was throwing ideas out to me for names and stuff like that. And Hellraiser, the movie, wasn't what crossed my mind. The song Hellraiser by Ozzy, because I'm such a huge Ozzy fan, is what crossed my mind. And I was like, that's kind of cool. And
Johnny Pinhead wouldn't have worked.
Yeah.
Very well.
And with having Johnny already is a great start.
Yeah.
You can follow
with anything.
And it just sounds cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So one of the names that was thrown out to me was Bill Fold.
Bill Fold? What is that?
Yeah, man, we're not going with that one.
I don't know that you should tell us who came up with that idea.
So,
yeah, we don't want to embarrass them. Bill Fold?
And I can't remember some of the others, but
what was the middle name? Try?
Yeah, something.
But for those that don't know, right? Aquanet 80s, that makes sense. But riff off some of the different artists that you guys cover that you feel like you guys really spotlight.
Stuff that I know we do really well, in my opinion. We Bon Jovi, Guns N' Roses, the the Poison stuff we do a good job with. I mean, we played Def Leppard. I think we do a great job with all of it. It just,
Any Motley Crue?
Yes.
We do play Motley Crue. Sometimes we have to plan around that because of the vocal part. We literally like, hey man, you think you can do this tonight? And we'll pick songs based on that. There's actually songs
because of
that
the
are on the
lead or the harmonies.
The lead vocal part is just high and what's I think is weird is sometimes he sings stuff that to me sounds higher, but I don't know if it's because of how he's singing those songs because he'll kill AC/DC.
Yeah.
Man, just kill it. And then he'll struggle with like a Motley Crue song.
Well, I remember.
So we pick songs based on what he feels like he can do.
Sure. Yeah.
Many years ago, I saw you guys at the Boiling Point.
Oh, God. Yeah.
You actually crushed it.
Yeah.
Wild Side is one of my favorite Crue songs.
Yeah, man.
And you guys did it, and I took notice because you, sir, you slayed that song. And it's not a super easy drum part. I mean, there's some stuff going on that a lot of drummers would probably overlook.
Yeah.
You played it well.
Okay.
Cool. It was very cool.
A vote of approval from Mr. Jeff Ward.
I mean, not that it means shit.
But I mean,
Denied.
I'm glad you brought up the Boiling Point because this came up in Paul Moreau's interview on the show because I saw Aquanet in 2011. So now this is pre you.
Yeah.
And it was not during Paul Moreau's moment either in the band, as I learned.
Right.
But yes, 2011, Boiling Point, Aquanet, and I just remember the guitar player, whether he's still with the band or not, I don't know, had a stack of Marshalls behind him that were all empty.
Yeah, that was.
Of course, it was just for the look, but it looked rad.
He was Yngwieing out.
Yeah, he's gone now.
He's out of here.
That was Axel Grease.
Axel Grease. That is perfect.
Yeah. He was in the band when I got in, and then he left. I don't, 2 years. I don't know time frame. It was weird how that. Yeah.
So it appears you guys are in regular rotation at Lafayette's. Is that correct?
Yes. Yeah. Last year we played every month, and we've done New Year's there 2 years in a row. And then this year is I think and I don't know what it is because we just played there last weekend, and they wanted to book us more, but normally we would have the whole half the year booked and then the other half of the year booked later on, but I think we're getting there. So they went through that whole big change of management stuff and some stuff changed, and I think it's a matter of just
Did you hear about it on social media?
I think everybody yeah.
Do you, Jeff?
What? I zoned out for a second.
I knew it.
It was all over.
I can see it. I can see it in my brother's eyes.
Glazed over.
I mean that, brother.
Like I just smoked a bowl.
Yes. He's talking about the changeover at Lafayette.
Lafayette's in. They're closing. We're not closing. They're closing. We're not closing.
The social media fucking explosion that happened over it, but
they're not. They haven't closed yet.
No, we just.
But they'd be dumb to not continue with you guys because you seem one of the premier bands there.
We go over there. We go over well there, and people like it. I mean, we played some shows when we first started playing there. It was kind of crazy. Like there was a line out the door, and it was like there was not room in the rafters for people to get in that place. It was
What are some of the other places you guys play?
Now we're playing like Roosters, where I think we're getting put on a regular schedule there. We like that.
I'd love to know how.
You were balancing your damn pen on the microphone. Oh, that's awesome.
And we played Dan McGuinness for like their St. Patrick's Day thing.
Right.
We used to play Dan McGuinness every month, but now we kind of spread that out. Playing in this whole area and being so close, you don't want to do it. We do a lot of private events. That's what in the last year and a half or so, a lot of private stuff. That's been a lot of the stuff that we've been doing. So
Roosters has got a great stage.
Yeah. And then
private stuff, buddy.
And we're doing the rooftop. We're playing the rooftop April 24th.
Nice.
Congratulations on that load in. I've heard how bad
have
that
fun.
Load in's a nightmare.
Have fun with that. I've experienced it once, and that was enough.
It's a fun gig, but that load
was enough.
Man, for years I wanted to play there, and I was like, man, I want to get in a band that gets booked there, and then I keep hearing the same story, and I'm like, all of a sudden, I don't really give a shit if I ever play there.
I mean,
you have to have like a dolly or something. There's just it's otherwise it's
it is truly Spinal Tap.
Yes, it is.
Everything about
it's
it.
Like going through the labyrinth to get to that.
Yes.
Trying to get the elevator, and there's everybody's using the same freight elevator. Yeah.
So before we move on to Chasing Angels, let's talk about the current members. Throw their names out there, both real and gimmick, and everything
so
about them.
Jay, obviously we mentioned him. Jay McNeil is the singer, and that's Gunner Sweet. I have to remember their stage names.
Gunner Sweet.
Jack Crowley is the guitar player. Haley Squire. And then we got Greg Edmondson playing bass with us now, and he just goes by one Rhino. That's it.
Rhino.
So,
okay.
And then we got Doug or Billy Comfort playing keys back there, and
Billy Comfort.
Bill, that's his real name. I call him Doug, but he goes by Billy.
Okay.
Bill, whatever.
So Mark Vines is not playing bass anymore?
No, he not full time with us.
Okay.
Yeah, he played with us at Lafayette's because Greg was out of town.
Okay. And
so,
what's Mark's stage name when he was there?
Nicky
Blaster.
Nicky Blaster.
Yeah. Okay.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love that. Nice. Nicky Blaster. So great. We can use Nicky Blaster as a bridge to Chasing Angels.
There you go, man.
Right?
Yes.
Because he is the bass player with you. Name off the bands for Chasing Angel.
Max Patterson.
Kerry Scarborough. Mm-hmm. Sean, forgive me for not knowing your last name.
Well, hell, if you don't know it, I'm not expected to know it.
I don't
remember my name.
And I don't know Heath's last name either.
Okay.
Player.
Hey,
you fit right in, sir.
Yeah, man. So,
because I was trying to think of Max's name and drew a blank and went squirrel like Jeff.
Well, me and Mark had done a small thing that got started. It didn't go. It went somewhere just with somebody else. Me and him were doing an Iron Maiden tribute band at one point in time, and Brad Ward was the guitar player in that, and we had Max come down and sing, and then Brad had to leave and things kind of fell apart. But the cool thing about that is Brad took that thing and went to North Carolina, and it's blowing up.
Good.
Yeah.
That's
awesome.
Cool.
So I remember Chasing Angels when we first started this podcast. Mm-hmm. They came out. It was Alan Bone on drums. It was John Davis on bass,
and
Steve was in Chasing Angels. Steve Taylor, right?
Oh wow.
Yes, he was,
along with Scarborough,
guitar player. Yep.
And then it kind of went away for a while. And then you guys started throwing some pictures out there of rehearsing new Chasing Angels, and you were behind the drums. And then,
so Max, I had talked to Max about playing in Chasing Angels,
right?
Okay,
and I got a handful of songs that he threw to me to learn. And I, while I love that era, there are certain artists and songs that I didn't listen to as much.
Right,
Ozzy is one of them. While I love Ozzy, I never just really dug into Ozzy and Tommy freaking Aldridge.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And there was a song that Max sent me, and I think I spent 2 weeks trying to learn the fucking song. But I was also trying to put together Gen X and do that thing. And I just told Max, I said, man, I'm not going to have time to learn the music that you're doing, although I love it.
Right.
And so I just kind of stepped back from that because, quite honestly, I just don't know that I would have ever been good enough.
Yeah. Oh, you'd have done it. You'd have been fine.
But you guys played with us.
Yeah, man.
At the Sidecar.
Yep.
Man, you came out absolutely swinging. That was a great show.
That was fun, man. Awesome. That was awesome.
So how does that conversation start to bring it back with you and the new players?
How it happened, because Max, I hadn't talked to Max in, years since we had messed around with me and Mark with him with the Iron Maiden thing. And I just randomly get a text from him one night, and he's like, hey, man, do you know anybody interested in playing in a band that's doing some stuff? And I was like, he listed off this stuff, and
you're like, yeah.
I didn't respond for a few minutes because I was sitting on my couch, and I was like, yeah, man, I know somebody that's interested in that. I was like, I'm interested in that. And he was like, really? That'd be cool.
Yeah, I think that was the method to Max's madness. I think he was hoping you would say that.
It went from there. And then he was asking me about bass players, and I mentioned Greg. I mentioned Mark. He knew a couple people. And
thanks, Johnny.
Yeah. So, hey, man.
You need the
you ask.
There it is.
There you go. You shall receive.
And then in the end, he texted me back. I guess he reached out to Mark, and Mark's like, hey, man, I guess we're playing in a band together again.
Nice.
I was like, okay, cool.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah. So the show that you did with Jeff, first one out?
That was?
Yeah, that was our first
far as I know.
Well, we did that little thing with you guys at Senatobia that was just us.
Yeah, you guys got up on stage and did some tunes.
We did like 2 or 3 songs or 3 or 4 songs, and we weren't really all put together at that point in time.
The sidecar thing was your first official outing where you guys had obviously been rehearsing together for quite a while because you killed it. Yeah. Loved it. It was amazing. I love Queensryche. Yeah. And any
to have someone that can sing that,
can sing it,
man, Max
and the
awesome.
guitar players that can play it, it's amazing.
That's great. Do you guys do album key? Oh, you're the drummer. You wouldn't know.
Yeah, but
no, I know what you're talking about, but I don't know.
Come on now.
I need to ask. I don't know if they're in standard tuning or not. I think
dick.
I think
that was absolutely. I didn't mean it to be, but that's a damn drummer joke. Sorry.
Hey,
take it. Okay.
Hey, it's back on him because I knew the answer. But I think it is standard tuning.
It did sound to me like
it's great.
I would have to confirm that with Carrie or Mark or something. Yeah. I don't know if there's certain
not
songs,
that it would be a bad thing if you tune down for that stuff.
I think it's standard. I really
which
do
is
think
more remarkable.
Oh yeah,
for Max.
Yeah,
for sure. Do you bring in some backup vocals?
I do. Yeah, what I can, and I work on that. And
you sing with Aquanet as well.
I do backup vocals with, and that certainly helped. And then, Chasing Angels though is a different level of Queensryche backup vocals are a whole nother thing.
So, what's the future look like? You guys
good right now? I mean, we're trying to stay on that. We played with you guys. We're wanting to set up another show, and we're adding songs to the set list. We're not ready to do a full night by ourselves. Yeah. We've actually had the discussion of whether a full night of that music is even something that we want to do. We may try to do like half and half.
That's what's fun. Bands that are willing to play with each other like that. It's great for everybody. It's fun. It's good variety. Yeah. So you get all the stuff that Chasing Angels brings, and then all the '90s stuff with Gen X. Yeah. So no overlap. It's good.
Right. And it is hard for a band that does that type of music. Max, God love him, the guy's got range, but you can't do 3 hours.
Well, one of the things that we're looking at right now is we're all kind of throwing out ideas for an instrumental song to be like, give him a break. And if we do 2 sets, maybe we'll throw 2 songs in there to give him a break. And we've got ideas for that.
You have keys and you have all the pieces. Look up some of the Rush stuff from Roll the Bones.
Yeah, man.
There are a couple of great instrumentals.
Some of the songs. Hey. Yeah, that's some of the stuff I was listening to.
I got a great long one.
Okay.
For his break. Hey now. Hey now.
Woo! Congratulations.
Damn. That's right. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. I'm here all night. This is going to be off the rails now.
You're the guy that got
it. Happy mistakes, right?
It's going to take a minute.
No, it's a Bob Ross happy accident. Okay. What was I going with this?
I have no
Instrumental.
Yeah.
A long one.
Orion from Master of Puppets.
That song, actually, me and Mark threw that out there.
Dude, that would be amazing.
We're looking at, since we got, Carrie Scarborough and Sean, who are just absolute shredding. I mean, there's nothing. I mean, we literally are looking at throwing ideas out, and what's cool is that it's not off the table. Whether we decide to do it, I don't know, but there's nothing like we're talking about Steve Vai, like For the Love of God.
There you go. Well,
Come on.
Or Blue Powder, or even Joe Satriani, Flying a Blue Dream.
Hell yeah.
So because we got the guys that can play.
Of course, yes.
And man, talk about being able to show off the guitar players, man. Because those guys are. Whew.
Yeah, that makes total sense.
Awesome.
But if Carrie doesn't break out a 7-string Ibanez, I don't want to see it.
I don't think Carrie would do that.
Yeah, I get it.
Well, hopefully you guys get something booked soon and put it out there.
And we've on top of that, the only thing I'll add is we just added 2 originals that they already had to the band that are just killer, man. And
cool.
Max and Carrie wrote them, and man, Soldier Story is my favorite one, and Save Me is the other song that they've got, and but we added those to the set list, and I cannot wait to play them out, because me and Mark heard them and we were like, where were you hiding these gems over in the corner over here? So and that's a goal of the band eventually to we're going to continue the writing process and put our stuff out, and
love it. That's awesome.
Hopefully that'll bring its own shows with some other bands.
Yeah, well, let us know when anything's published.
Sure.
Yeah.
The minute something is published in public.
You guys will be the first to know, I'm sure. So
awesome.
Cool.
Are we going in order?
Yeah. So
all right, I want to talk about this.
Go for it.
The Pete Mendillo Celebration of Life that we did at Neil's. I had a list of tunes, that I was sending out to the groups, and one of the songs was a Rush song that really stuck out to me because I almost didn't even like the fact that the song was on the list.
And why is this?
Because it's a bitch for a drummer. And you're scared that somebody might get in over their head, that they might see that song. They love the song. I love the song. Be damned if I'd ever try to play it, but I love it.
The anticipation of the song title is
so Johnny
thick right now.
Johnny picked this tune.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I mean, I know Johnny's a great player, but it's still, you're thinking, is he going to really nail this?
He had doubt, Johnny.
He really nailed it.
I had doubt.
No.
Can we get the name of the song, please?
Tell him the name.
Subdivisions.
Yeah.
There we go. Cool.
Yeah.
Dude, he slayed it.
You did.
And I got to tell you, and I think I already told you this, but all the other drummers for the night are standing over to the side watching, and a couple of them didn't know who you were.
Right. Yeah.
And they looked at me and they said, where the hell did he come from?
Yeah.
He nailed that. So, dude, thank you for doing that.
Thank you for asking me because, man, seriously, when you sent me that, that was, I don't have the history with Pete that a lot of people in this area because I'm not from here, but the history that I do have with him was awesome. And just, I was actually nervous the first time I talked to him, and he put you at ease so quickly at it, and it was when he was playing with Fifth Kind and just walking up on a stage and John Roth and Corey and Jeff, I'm just like, I don't belong here.
I know.
But I wanted to talk to him, and man, he was like, yeah, man, let me show you how this works. And
so for those that don't know,
he's just awesome.
Pete Mendillo was a legendary drummer in Memphis. We lost him a couple of years ago. When I say we planned a celebration of life for him at Neil's, it was really Jeff and the Area 51 guys that really took all the reins on that and made it what it was. And it was a lineup of drummers. Yeah. How many total drummers? Maybe 10, 12,
13, something like that.
It was a bunch.
Yeah. And then other guest musicians. I had the honor to play a few songs. But it was such a blast sitting back and watching all the great drummers get up there and play Pete Mendillo's kit.
Yeah, that was special.
How cool
awesome,
was
man.
that?
That was really cool.
And thanks to Carolyn Mendillo for giving our blessing on all of it. To do it, to have his kit up there.
Yeah, man.
It was a very special night.
Look what I'm wearing.
Oh, there you go.
I saw that.
Yeah.
Just happened to be wearing this today.
I'm looking right at you. Didn't even realize you're playing the shirt that Area 51 put together shortly after his passing.
Yeah.
Because Area 51, after settling down for a little bit to process, they came back and they dedicated that next show at Hadley's, of course, for Pete, and packed out, and they had shirts. But he didn't get a proper, real focused celebration of life until that night. Yeah. So thanks for being a part of it.
It was an honor, and thank you for asking me, Jeff.
Oh, man.
Real. Man,
absolutely, dude.
That was awesome.
Yeah. All right, man. Let's go back to original music.
Okay.
All right. And you're also in another band called StoneRowe.
Yeah.
Tell us more about StoneRowe.
So StoneRowe is
names.
Yeah, the guys from it's basically the guys from Aquanet.
Okay.
Without Jay singing. Okay. So it's me and Greg and Jack and then Doug playing keys.
Okay.
And we just wanted to do some stuff. It was a weird situation how it happened going into COVID. That kind of screwed up some stuff, but we had a good roll going there before that, and we just wanted to write.
It's good music, man. Jack has sent me some links in the past, and I've checked stuff out. And you guys had some videos on YouTube?
Yeah, there's some videos. Doug did all that, man.
I remember seeing those,
Doug
and
did
it was
a great job with that.
Really good stuff.
Yeah, and it ranges from all kinds of stuff. Some of the songs were originally written, I think, to be part of Aquanet. Yeah. So they sound different than the last 3 or 4 songs that we did, where the last 3 or 4 songs, I'm going to start with, we did a thing over COVID where we did the Chili Pepper song, Suck My Kiss, and we recorded that and
that's my favorite Chili Pepper song.
Yeah. So we put a video together of that, and it was just, everybody had dead time. So we're like, hey man, let's just throw some of this down. And we did that. And then, but from that point on, we did Cage, which is my favorite song, and then Save Me and Devil's Cut. Those are the 3 songs right there that kind of, I think, are driving towards what the band is going to eventually sound like, because you go through that transition period of looking for what's it going to sound like,
right?
So
and you have stuff out now, correct?
Oh yeah, there's 8 songs out on
Spotify,
Apple, iTunes, Apple, all of it, everything.
Good deal.
It's out there.
Yeah, I need to find the link.
Yeah.
So I'm giving myself a note right in the camera. Derrick, get that link. It'll be in the description.
And I keep threatening that I'm going to get Jack in here for an interview too, which I will do. He's on my list.
Asked me to get a hold of you.
It's going to happen, Jack. So if you're watching this, I promise I'm not ghosting you. It's just sometimes I go retarded and I just don't reach out. Like
he goes full retard.
I was going to say you'd never go full retard.
Yeah.
Okay. Moving ahead. Oh, I don't want to jump ahead if there's something else you want to add.
No. Actually, we haven't done anything in a while.
Okay.
We talk every time Aquanet plays a gig, we're like, hey guys, there's ideas out there. Jack, I know, has some stuff. Doug has some stuff. And it's just a matter of getting us all, and COVID happened and life happens and everybody's got families and work, and it's hard to get between gigging with all these other things. It's hard to get everybody back in the room together.
Yeah,
we're working on it.
When I first met Jack, he was, I think, newly married or getting married, and they didn't have kids yet. And they did a band together. He and his wife. They were in Circus.
Circus. They had Circus, and then me and Jack and her did a band. Drunk Uncle was another band.
I remember Drunk Uncle. Good name.
Everyone has one.
That's exactly why we named it that.
I had a few.
Drunk podcast host would be a really good name for the band.
Well, very cool. Now let's go back in time, shall we, Jeff?
Way back in time.
Way back in time.
Where are you from originally?
West Virginia, a town called Weston. It's about as big as that table.
Oh, nice. And the table is not big, y'all.
Yeah, it's if you blink, you'll miss it. And it's a small town, and South Haven is New York City compared to Weston.
At least one street light?
Oh, there's more. There's actually, it's a weird thing, man. I think this is accurate. Somebody can go check it. But when I lived there, I think the population was actually bigger than it is now. I think the population is actually going down. So I don't want to. I mean, I don't know what the actual number is.
So illegal immigration is not a problem for them. Is what you're saying.
Less than 15,000 people, or even less than 10, maybe live there. If not less than that,
So how did you end up out here?
Military.
So your dad? Or
no.
Oh no. So
no.
you weren't a.
Yeah, my family's still up there.
Okay, it wasn't because you were moving around as a child with your dad.
Right.
You joined the service.
I did. Yeah.
Okay.
So I started off with some other bands that we'll talk about. And I was a music major in college right out of high school. I got.
So you lived in West Virginia your whole.
Yeah, up to that
upbringing.
Point. Whole upbringing. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
So you enlist what year?
1998.
Okay.
Yeah.
What branch?
Air Force.
I knew that, but they didn't.
Yeah, I got.
Thank you for your service.
Thanks, man. I just retired in December.
Good for you. Buddy. Woo.
December 2024.
Let's go.
And
so 26 years, 3 months.
You worked on planes, correct?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. What was your specialty?
Just mechanic. So I wasn't like an electrician or a hydraulic specialty. Okay. I was a crew chief. Okay. So we did a little bit of everything.
Any particular plane or just
C5s was my main one.
Only the largest airplane, second largest airplane in the world. 15
years on C5s, 15, 16 years. And then we had them here in Memphis.
I remember when we
eventually when I came here to Memphis, I was an instructor, and that's what brought me here to Memphis. Was I was in California, stationed out there at Travis Air Force Base, and eventually through my career became an instructor, and I was teaching advanced systems on that aircraft and engine run stuff. So Memphis was getting C5s, and that's what initially brought me here. I was married at the time, and my wife ended up staying out there, and I came here for 3 months, I think.
Gotcha.
And was teaching them the stuff on the C5s. And
forgive us, everyone. We're going to nerd out for a second on airplanes because it's something I love.
Yeah. You need to apologize to me, too, because I'm clueless. And, man, me and Jeff dumbed this room down. We balance it out with you. Well, you're bringing in some high-level stuff here.
Are they phasing out C5s just because they're so huge
they
and so
phased
costly?
Out. The A models are gone.
Okay.
So they then... It's a weird thing that they upgraded the B models, and they're now called the M models. And I haven't been on them in a while, so for me, I don't want to say something that's inaccurate because all the guys I work with are going to be like, "Dude, you got that wrong."
No, I understand.
But
But I know here they're gone now.
Yeah. We don't have. We have C-17s here now. Yeah, we have 8 of them out there. I say I just retired, but they upgraded the engines. They did some hydraulic work, and even when I was on C5s, they were upgrading the cockpits at that time, the glass cockpits.
Okay.
And then I know the avionics.
At one time, we had C-141s here.
That was before my time. Yeah.
Okay, so they're gone.
They did have them though. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all you get.
Yeah, we're done.
But hey, while we're in your military chunk of your life, let's talk about your band Article 15.
Okay.
Let's talk about them right now. So you started telling us this story before we turned everything on. I was like, stop talking. Let's bring this on the show.
Yeah.
So
you were all
criminals.
We were all a bunch of maintenance guys, man. Every one of us, we all worked together. Some in different shops, some of us at the same shop on the flight line. And it was weird because at that point in time, when I joined the military, I packed my drums up, man, and I didn't play my drums for a year and a half.
But this is in California.
In California, yeah, I took them with me when we moved. They come pick up your stuff and take it. So the first thing on the truck was my drum kit, and it went and. I had it sitting there and didn't play for a while, man. And then, that urge starts hitting you again and you're listening to stuff. And then I was like, okay, where am I going to set these up? I live in base housing. You can't just start playing drums.
Yeah, right.
So I found some buddies of mine that had a band and they had a rehearsal space in one of the shops. And
that's all you need to know.
That's how it started. And eventually they had a drummer and we just worked out. I knew when they were going to be up there so that I wasn't interrupting their rehearsal time is how it really started. And I would just go up and play on my own. And then Steve and them would show up and, I was playing, just doing my own stuff to keep playing. I wasn't even looking to get into a band, but eventually I ended up getting asked to be in that band with them, and the band was called Article 15, which is a military form of punishment. I was the only guy in the band that didn't have one from what I remember.
Wow, there you go.
Yeah.
So Jeff was close.
Yeah, he was close. But we had fun, man. We wrote, it was all original band. And
okay, cool.
Yeah, we did an EP.
What was the style?
Kind of
well, is this early 2000s at this point?
Yeah, so it was.
Well, this is boring. This is non-judicial punishment option for soldiers accused of minor misconduct.
That's right.
That's boring.
Yeah, it's not. It wasn't.
That's boring. Boo.
Yeah, but
sorry,
it was original stuff. So the music fit that kind. I guess alternative rock type stuff.
Okay, yeah,
and I have
of the time.
I have a copy of the CDs in my truck. And that's like the only copy that I know of. I don't even know of anybody that had posted it. But we had some interest, and you say that I have no idea if something would have come of it, but we all had this, big plan. And
you had momentum.
Right, we did. We had momentum, and we played at this place in Vacaville, California called Cheers, which is famous for Papa Roach. That's where they played a lot. That same town. And matter of fact, Steve and those guys, I think, knew some of those dudes. And there was a guy that I think was managing them or something, and he was interested in listening to our stuff. And it was weird because we went and recorded it, and this is how I found out that there's different ways that they can put stuff on CD, and if you don't have the right CD player, it won't play.
Okay.
It's got to be, I don't know what that is. It's the data codes they put on there or something. Well, we gave him one and it didn't, it was like handing him a blank CD. So that didn't go well, but we were like, shit. And, we ended up
recorded that CD. Was it you, Johnny? Did you screw that up?
No, we actually, I think it was called Sound Farm Studios in Vacaville, California. We went to, that was fun, but, we were trying to do our thing. We were playing some shows, and we had a thing set up to actually talk to him. And it was literally the week before, I believe, September 11th.
Wow, that's right. So now we're talking 2001. Earlier, I said early 2000s. And then, obviously, we know it's 2001.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
So that was it. Done.
We didn't want it to be done, but it was not an option at that point because literally within, I don't know, a couple weeks, every one of us was gone somewhere. Because I flew at the time. I was a flying crew chief, so I flew missions with the planes. And then I think the rest of the guys went to different locations, and we ended up seeing each other from time to time. Wow. I think we ran into each other in Diego Garcia out in the middle of the Indian Ocean. It's like, dude, what's up? Let's go.
So what was that experience like for you? You know, this happens.
Yeah.
And now, in essence, getting deployed.
Yeah. For me, it was different than a deployment, but it was still kind of the same thing. I was flying. It's
Where did you go overseas?
Oh, yeah. I was all over the world.
Wow.
Yeah. Middle East, Asia.
Yeah.
I mean,
C5s probably have a range of wherever the hell it wants to go.
Yeah, we would go wherever. And
wow.
A lot of the guys from California went westbound, so they ended up either in Guam or Hickam or Diego Garcia, which was a lot of it. And then, but with C5s, like we would end up like literally, you just take off from there and go all the way around and then come back around. So we would end up in Europe and Spain and Germany and land back at Dover, and then we would come back home, or we would just go from there to pick up something else to take it back. I mean, it was, dude, you were just all over the place.
How long of a period was it like that?
I was flying for a year and a half prior, or a year or something like that prior to that, and then that was a year that I was basically gone.
Yeah,
all of us. It wasn't just me. Like I remember flying back into Travis, and Travis has a big ramp, and we had I might get this number wrong, but somewhere in 38 or 40 C5s. We had KC-10s, 20 or 30 of those, and then there was an extended ramp on the side that had like en route planes that would come through of various types.
Yeah.
And it was a big ramp, and it was full of airplanes all the time. And then we flew in, and we were literally the only plane out in the middle of this concrete nowhere. And it was so weird to me because I'd never seen that. I was like, whoa.
It put the military in full force, didn't it?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So just quick sidebar to let you know what the C5 is.
Okay.
And people who are listening or watching. Second largest airplane in the world. The front end of the airplane raises up and opens.
Yeah.
The back end of the airplane opens, and they can
The plane
cargo
will kneel. It squats down.
helicopters
Yeah.
go inside
Buses,
this airplane.
Okay.
They transport
tanks.
other
Gotcha.
aircraft and tanks to other parts of the world.
Gotcha.
I got to see one up close at the air show in Millington.
Yeah.
I may have been 12, 13
I was over
years
there.
old.
Yeah.
You had to climb like 3 flights of stairs to get to the cockpit.
Oh, yeah,
of this
man.
thing.
Wow.
It's huge.
Yeah.
Wow.
The tail's like 6 stories in the air.
It's
And
unbelievable.
you used to fly those?
Flew on them.
Yeah.
Okay. Worked on them.
What's it like being in one of those things in the sky?
Comfortable.
Yeah, you don't know.
It just rocks you to sleep, man.
Really?
It was, and the engines that they had on them at the time, the TF-39s had this like, we used to call them the turbo fans of freedom, because they had this screaming Jesus is what I used to call them, because they had this whistle thing, and some of the guys that hear this may be able to describe it better than me, but there was this very distinct C5 sound to it. And
that's fascinating.
And then in the air, it like had this cool vibe. Like, and the plane would literally just, man, I don't know, some of the best sleep I ever had was sleeping on that airplane.
I've never gotten to fly on one, but I mean, I've flown on your typical American Airlines, 727 or whatever, and this thing dwarfs any airplane that you've flown on commercially.
It was a bear to work on, man.
So if you think flying on a plane from here to Las Vegas from Delta Airlines is comfortable, imagine this thing is twice the size.
Yeah, all kinds of maintenance jokes. Its nickname was Fred, which is fucking ridiculous economic disaster.
There you go.
Makes good sense.
There it is.
And it kept you on your toes, that's for sure.
So did anything circle back to the band in any way? Did it?
Yeah, we do need to talk about music.
Yeah, no, once that happened, it was kind of, we just never, I mean, we talked, we all still hung out a little bit after that.
But that was pretty much
that kind of, that was it.
Mm-hmm.
And it was cool. We still got to write some stuff and put it out. We all got to say, I don't know if, I think those guys, I hope they still have CDs of it, but.
Well, give us one. We'll try to play it.
I have to burn it. I literally have one, but I think it's in my truck. I can let you guys try to play it.
Man, I've got Tascam cassettes.
Oh yeah.
Yes, I've got
boxes.
a box of cassettes.
Yeah,
man. Yeah.
I know that.
So what was your total amount of time in the service? How many years?
26 years, 3 months.
Awesome.
Man, thank you for that.
You're welcome.
That's awesome.
Do you miss it?
There's parts of it I miss a lot. Yeah, I do miss some of it. And my goal was to try to make it to 30 years. And you just get to that point where I was like, nah, not to get off the subject of music again, but I ended up taking a job with the FAA. So I'm an aviation safety inspector with the FAA. So I left full-time military, and then I was just doing it part-time. And it was so hard going in on drill weekends and I was a maintenance pro super and managing the maintenance and trying to catch up with that enormous thing in 2 days is very difficult to do. And then just trying to keep up with it, and you get away from it. And when you're not there all the time, it goes, and I was focusing on the FAA. And
well, you did your fair share, sir.
Yeah, for sure.
26 years is nothing to be ashamed of in any way. So thank you again for your service.
You're welcome.
All right, let's. We're gonna screw around the timeline here. Now let's go to first band ever.
Oh, geez. Okay.
Dover Crossing is you told us.
Was my first. I mean, I had some. You're learning to play music with guys, but this was the band that went out and we gigged a lot.
Okay, good. Yeah.
And these dudes were a band that my dad played in.
So teenager, early 20s,
late teens, going into my 20s, senior year of high school, going into college, and and it went. It was just I was. This guy playing in a band with these dudes that at the time were my age now. And I was like, man, I'm like a puppy. And these dudes are, older.
You must have been advanced in order for them to bring you in.
I don't know. They liked what I was doing. I auditioned and they dug it. So I guess so, man.
What was the music?
Just classic rock. And I say just classic rock. I mean, it was good stuff. I mean, it was a lot of Leonard Skinner, and we did Marshall Tucker Band, and we did some stuff. We did some Jimi Hendrix, stuff like that. But we had a killer guitar player when I was in the group, Burl Carpenter. Just amazing. He's passed away now. And then so the bass player as well, Randy King, just great friends. And then Steve Pickens was the singer, and just awesome guys. I love those dudes. And Steve is still around. I see him and talk to him every once in a while when I go home. So
with it being your first band, were you surprised at how much money you make?
Yes, in a backwards kind of way.
This is nothing like
exactly
what they told me.
I'm not going to make a living doing this.
Reality comes quick.
Man, in high school, in college, 60, 80, $100 in your pocket. I know. Shit, I was like, dude, I'm buying a house.
Yeah. How much?
60, 80, $100, which is the same as
so it's
now.
About the same.
Yeah, exactly. And this was in 1990 and 91.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so and I've actually talked about that with other people, and I think me and you have talked about it. Just like
every musician talks about it.
Yeah, dude. It's like, dude, the money hasn't changed a lot, but a beer is now $25 or something. You know what? It's like,
I know. Think of all the teenagers that don't egg houses anymore because it's so damn expensive.
Or roll toilet paper.
It's like throwing gold out. It's like throwing gold.
I know. What did the kids do during COVID? No toilet paper? It's bullshit.
I saw this on a total sidebar, but online there's this gun that you put a roll of toilet paper on it and you pull the trigger and it blows it and unrolls it. I'm
Brandon,
like, you go through thousands of dollars.
Yeah,
leaf blower.
Brandon Marlier had one of those with Circus, man, and he would stand up in front of the stage. And the first time I saw it, I was like, "What the hell is this?"
There was a band up in
Maine. I was
Maine.
like, "That's the coolest thing I've ever seen."
He just spent his entire share of the pay for the evening.
There's a great disco tribute band in Maine called Motor Booty Affair.
Oh wow!
And they did that.
I love the name.
I saw that years ago. Yeah, and it just spreads all over the dance floor.
MBA.
And, all right, now I got to move on to this next band.
Okay.
Brick Mistress.
Yeah.
Because of the Mad Drummer.
There you go,
the
man.
Connection between the two.
Yeah.
We'll talk about Mad Drummer here and kind of educate people on him too.
Right.
But first, Brick Mistress, the second band.
Yeah. So Tony, the guy I grew up playing music with, he ended up, and I'm not even sure, I know that the original guitar player for Brick Mistress at that point in time was Jim Dofka. And I don't know why. I don't know all of the reasons why he left. And I'm not even 100% sure why Steve eventually left. But Tony got into the band with Steve and Dave, and John Miker was playing bass at that time.
And where is this again?
In West Virginia.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And eventually Steve went and did something else.
And Steve is the Mad Drummer.
Steve's the Mad Drummer.
A lot a lot of people aren't going to know who this guy is.
I know.
We will explain
Steve
it
Moore,
here in a
Mad
second.
Drummer. Yeah. So he literally grew up in the town. We aren't from the same hometown. He was from the town over from us, but his dad owned the video store in our town. It's called the Video Zone, and we knew he worked there and we knew who Brick Mistress was, and they had, EPs out. So they were in my mind, they were already rock stars.
Making it.
They were Metallica, you know? Yeah. So, but I used to go over there and hang out with him a lot, and we would listen to music and stuff and just talk about geek out. I mean, just drum stuff
with Steve.
With Steve, yeah. We just hang out, and then, literally, I'd stay there in the shop until they closed, and we just stand in there and talk about drum shit, man.
So it's just so fascinating that I know someone that knows this guy so well. Okay, the Mad Drummer,
right?
He went viral, several years ago, and I know you've seen it. Everyone's seen it. It's the guy that he's playing in like this corporate function band.
Don't even know the name of the band.
They're wearing gold.
Rick K and the All Nighters. Then they're from the same area.
Okay.
Rick and the All Nighters.
Rick K and the All Nighters.
And they're wearing like gold kind of blazers.
Yeah. Show band.
And they're playing
really good show
and
band.
And Steve has bangs. Like his hair comes way down. So when he's playing, his bangs are flying everywhere.
Yeah. They're playing Sharp Dressed Man.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
At what you would like, they're playing.
I don't even know where it's at.
Like they're playing a square in Collierville or whatever, one of those deals. And
he's just a character.
And he's back there playing a very simple drum line. Well, if you shut your eyes, it sounds the same, but when you watch him,
he's doing all kinds.
His
of
arms are just flailing
he was
everywhere.
always like that, man.
And this is more than just twirling a stick.
Right.
Oh yeah.
You gotta go watch this. Go YouTube the Mad Drummer.
Well, he actually just put a video out. It might be a month now. It might just be a couple weeks. I'm not 100% sure. He talks about where that came from. And me and him used to talk about a lot of that stuff. And he's a huge Tommy Lee fan. And I don't want to speak for him and put words in his mouth. But, dude, I will tell you this. Shannon Larkin was a god to us.
Yeah.
Okay. And he played with a band called Wrathchild America at that point in time. And Shannon was doing that's Godsmack's drummer.
Sure. Oh, okay.
So back then with Wrathchild, if you've never listened to him, man, man, I still listen to their albums, and but Shannon did all that crazy stuff, man. And Steve, in one of the videos he posted, he said, "No Shannon Larkin, no me," and that's where it all came from. Was there. But Steve, man, dude, I think he took it to the next level.
Oh. Now, was he like that for every song in that band?
No.
Did he pick his spots?
I didn't see him play with Rick K other than when, man, way back, they used to play locally in our area. And I did go see him there, but he wasn't doing that, at least when I saw him. But at some point,
well, he is a show all his own.
He's amazing, man. He's the thing that everybody looks at that, and it's its own thing. It's a show, and in a show band, that's what. But dude. You need to listen to him play drums outside of that as well, because he's a beast.
He has a new channel.
Man, he's awesome.
It's called The Mad Drummer. He's legit.
Oh,
it's not just all frills.
Yeah, he's killer, man.
But when you watch him do that crazy stuff, it's so fluid.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's still in the pocket. It's just, you got to go check it out.
He's awesome, man. It was so weird. The first time I was at the base out here, and a bunch of people knew I played in Aquanet and knew I was playing music, and somebody comes into my office and they're like, "You got to see this video, man. Have you seen this guy?" And I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah, so a good buddy of yours.
I was like, yeah, I haven't seen this video, but I know that guy.
And then you saw the video every day for years.
Yeah, everybody would show me, and they're and I was like, me and Steve haven't talked, god dang, in a long time.
Well, we're sure he's watching.
Right.
Yeah. Maybe he will. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
shoot him a text.
Yeah.
I
don't even think I have his number anymore. But anyway,
tell him we want him on the show.
Yeah.
For sure,
dude. He may do it. I know some guys that can still get a hold of him. So I don't know.
But check him out. The Mad Drummer.
Ask.
Yeah, it's awesome, and it's just cool to know you, and then know that you know him.
Yeah,
that dude went so viral.
Yeah,
he must have been like, "Oh my god, that's my buddy."
I remember going to shows when I was getting the gig with Brick Mistress, and like I went to his house and we were in his basement and watching him rehearse and stuff like that. And he would do a little bit of stuff while they were rehearsing, but then when I saw him play, I was like, dude, because he did it, man. But he killed it. Yeah,
you're the only. You need I need to talk to.
Yeah,
but he killed it, man. And he would do that at the shows, and I was like, I don't know if I can do that.
All right, so band number 3, Temper.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us about Temper.
Temper came from Tony in Brick Mistress. Me and Tony grew up best friends playing music. And then we started this band after Temper. We left Brick Mistress and started this project. And our goal was the same goal as everybody, man. Get the big record deal, go make a living, go on the road, do it forever. And
it went well, didn't it?
It was all original. Yeah, it went well.
And now you're here talking to us.
Congratulations.
That's exactly right.
Congratulations.
That's exactly right. Yeah. But we did 2 EPs. The Emancipation of Dissonance was the first one, and then
that's a title.
And then Severed was the second one. And we put stuff out. We would mail stuff out to record labels and get shut down. And I still have some of the letters that they sent you back saying thanks but no thanks that I've kept and stuff like that. But it was fun, and we got to play some cool shows with that band, and we put the road work in and tried. We gave it everything we had. It just, that whole saying of if New York, if you can make it here, you can make it anywhere. I'm like, dude, that's easy compared to West Virginia with 5,000 people. Like we had the work ethic with all the bands. Like everybody knew how to go play a gig and put on a killer show and practice and get your chops right. But our business sense was we were like a bag of hammers, man.
I mean, there's no one to invite a bag of hammers.
I was like, dude, we had no business sense whatsoever. So,
there it is. Well, I wish we had more time.
We know
continue this.
Ricky Rackman.
Yeah,
he wanted to interview you, but you said no.
You're right.
The rhythm section is where it's at.
That's right.
Right.
Thank you. We appreciate it. It's an honor for us too.
Man, thank you guys. It's awesome.
Before we wrap up, we're going to do something we haven't done in a while, and that's feature some music on the show. You brought an original. It's called Continuum.
Yes.
What I'm going to do here is give you like a 45-second sample, and then come back, and then you can talk about it.
Sounds good.
And tell us a little more about how it came to be. You already told us quite a bit before we hit record, so definitely repeat yourself.
Sounds good.
But y'all check out this song by Johnny Lamb. This is just a Johnny Lamb thing,
right?
Yeah.
And it's called Continuum. And we're back. So, tell us about that. It's badass.
It's awesome to see
you got double
the magic.
kick in there. I'm a softie when it comes to double kick drum.
Yeah.
So I'm already loving that. But it's a great song. Tell us who's a part of it and how it came to be.
All of it is me. I wrote all the parts. I did everything, and then initially I put down everything on a keyboard. So I do play other instruments. I just not well enough that I feel comfortable going out and playing.
Right.
But the idea came to me. I slowly started putting together, and I used Logic Pro 10. And then as I got it finished and started putting drums to it, recorded all that at my house in my drum studio, and I knew I needed guitar. And I knew, I was just trying to figure out who to ask. So I reached out to my buddy Tony, and I sent him the parts. I was like, hey man, I need this as a guitar part, this as a guitar part, and if you think something else, like add to or whatever. And then at this section, I need a solo. And he sent it back to me, and it just, man, when I dropped those guitar parts into it with the keys, and I did it even before I did a mix on it, like, because I mixed it and mastered everything on it. And before I did that, just getting that rough up, it blew me away. I was like, that's it. That's what I was looking for.
Are you potentially going to add vocals to it at some point?
No, that one probably not.
Yeah.
About 99% sure I won't on that one, but I do have other ideas I'm working on. And matter of fact, me and Tony have some stuff that we have already traded some tracks back and forth on that are some songs that they're covers, but they're going to be kind of a cool version. I don't know if we'll ever do anything with them, but we're working on that. But I told him, I've got other ideas for originals as well.
Awesome. Yeah. So Continuum is not published, so
right.
I don't have a Spotify link for anyone,
right.
but
it will be. I just haven't done it yet. So
yeah, well, let us know.
So this is the first people. This is it. This is it.
You got to start a Johnny Lamb channel.
Yeah.
Bam.
Yeah.
Johnny Hellraiser.
Johnny Hellraiser. There it is. With that's a great spot right there. You can't top Johnny Hellraiser.
Dude, thank you for coming and doing this.
Man, this was awesome.
It's been great talking to you. I learned a lot.
I didn't need any of the notes that I wrote down because I was like, I'm going to get nervous and I'm going to be like, I don't know what to
Well, if you were nervous, you didn't show it. You came to talk, and that's what we love.
We just try to have fun and shoot the shit, too. We're friends here.
This was awesome, man.
But we're not saying goodbye yet.
Okay.
First, I'm going to ask people to go to therhythmsectionpod.com. There you will see our entire catalog of episodes and links to our YouTube, Apple, Spotify, Facebook, and Instagram.
Yep. Thank you to our sponsors. If you're interested in becoming a sponsor, you can email us at therhythmsectionpod2022@gmail.com or reach out to us on Facebook.
And to all the beautiful people that have helped this cause through donations.
And you too, Kenny Francis.
Thank you very much. If you're interested, someone else, those donors, I knew I was going to do that. Train wreck. Anyway, to anyone that's interested in donating to our tip bucket, we have another interview after this, Jeff, too.
I know.
Venmo, the Rhythm Section Pod. You're next.
Oh, do I have something else
to
say?
See the band.
I'm sorry.
Sorry.
Go see a band.
Yeah, man.
I'm glad everybody watches to the very end.
I know.
That's right.
So everyone's still watching.
If you stop watching early, you don't get to see all of this.
Johnny Hellraiser, everybody.
Thanks, brother.
Johnny Lamb. Check out Aquanet. Check out Chasing Angels. Check out StoneRowe. Go. The link is in the description.
Yeah.
All that fun stuff. I hope you enjoyed the interview. Johnny, thanks again for making it.
Thank you guys, for real. Thank you very much.
So much fun getting to know you more. I learned a lot of new stuff, too, as well. All right, y'all. Go see a band. Take care.
See ya.